or so and try and figure out what I'm going to do next in terms of my future in football. I think, I've talked to a few people in the facility already, having the exit meetings and everything. And they know where I stand, at least right now. And I think there's a lot of love for the game that's still there. And I don't think I'll ever lose that. I don't know. It's a tough thing to navigate, but at the same time, I think if my body can heal up and rest up, and I can feel confident that I can go out there and give it another 18, 20, 21 week run. I think I would do it in a heartbeat. So I think right now it's just finding that answer and seeing how the body feels after this game and kind of when it all settles down.
I'm confused. So you're not already coming back?
What?
Chris Jones has said that you're coming back. I thought this was already...
Nice. That's why we love Chris. He's very optimistic. He's very optimistic.
Chris Jones' quote is, "I'm not buying it. He'll be back next year." But he also followed that up, though. He said, "I can't promise you anything."
Nice.
But,
there you go. Yeah, let's keep this thing moving. A little Eagles 17, Commanders 24. Jason, you want some thoughts on the game? I mean, obviously the Eagles didn't play all their starters, but... Yeah,
I mean, that's the big storyline, is obviously the way it worked this past week for the Eagles was if, Detroit beat Chicago, which did end up happening, and if the Eagles win, the Eagles could have jumped up to the 2 seed. The Eagles obviously elected to rest their starters because they prioritized the rest going into the playoffs, which I think is right. I mean, if the Eagles could have guaranteed getting the 2 seed by playing their starters, I think they probably would have played. But because there was this other game that also had to take place, you have the risk of injury. It's kind of outside of your control. The one thing you can control in that situation is making sure your team is rearing and ready to go for week 1. And I also, to be honest with you, I felt pretty confident the Eagles backups would beat the Commanders. And I think that they should have. They didn't finish the game well. They started off pretty good. Tank Bigsby was running crazy. I was excited to see Tanner McKee. He's played well in most of his outings with the Eagles. So there's a portion of me that just wanted to see what some of these backups and young guys could do. But yeah, it looks bad in hindsight. This is one of those things where, because Chicago lost, we got the egg on our face because we didn't play our starters, and we could have the 2 seed most likely if we would have played everybody. But I think of it like this too, is like
Monday morning quarterback.
If they start the starters and one of the premier guys gets hurt and the Lions don't win, then everybody's going to be on Nick Sirianni about what fucking idiot is playing his guys in a game that's meaningless.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't, yeah.
And we were in a similar situation in 2023, my last year, and the offense was struggling. We really actually had less to gain. Like, we weren't really playing for anything in that week, if I recall it correctly. And we go out there and we play, and what happens? A.J. Brown gets hurt, and he couldn't play in the first playoff game. Jalen Hurts also got banged up in that game. And I do think that was also in the back of Nick Sirianni and the Eagles' head of like, listen, the last time we played our guys in a game like this, it ended up costing us some meaningful people, and we weren't at our best against Tampa Bay. I think at this point in the season, when you get the rest and you have the opportunity to avoid somebody getting hurt, and you don't know for certain that playing guys is going to help you, I don't know that it benefits you that much. And at the end of the day, you still got to go through good teams to win the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, if we're the 2 seed and we can guarantee 2 home games, that is a big thing. That is a big deal. But at the same time, like, we're going to have to play great teams regardless. And now we get a week of rest. All of our starters, Landon, our whole offensive line has been so banged up. A lot of those guys got the ability to get healthier. And then we're going to get to play, and now we get San Fran, who just fought their tails off with a juggernaut of Seattle, and they're going to be coming to the East Coast. I think if this team is good enough, they're still going to find a way to get it done. I don't think that decision in Week 18 is going to determine the outcome of this team. I just think that when we play up to our potential with the defense we have and with the offensive firepower we have, I think we can beat anybody.
Well, you guys got the 49ers next week. And, I mean, they've been rolling, man. They've been rolling. They had a tough one last week, but...
Dude, how good is Seattle?
That was a crazy game.
Dude, Seattle
Shitty weather game, too.
Seattle's so long and fast, and those windows they're smaller, and they close. And
they're active, man. Active.
I came away from that game more impressed with Seattle than I was like, oh, San Fran ain't very good. San Fran's still legit. I just think the Seattle defense is freaking... Man, do they got some dudes over there.
Yeah. With everything that's happened with the 49ers, man, Kyle Shanahan, man.
It's one of the best seasons.
Tip of the cap. He just keeps finding ways to fucking win. And shout out to the guys that, haven't gotten injured, that are fighting through and finding ways.
Shout out to John Lynch for building a deep roster. You know what I mean? Like, to be able to weather all this stuff. If they don't go out and get Mac Jones this offseason, they don't. What happens in those 8 games that Brock Purdy misses?
Who knows, man? All right, let's get into the rest of week 18. Good luck to those birds playing the Niners next week, man. I'm going to be fucking glued to the TV on Sunday when they play. But the rest of the week 18 games, Seahawks got the #1 seed by beating the Niners. We just talked about that. The NFC South had 3 teams finished 8-9. Panthers move on due to the tiebreakers, with the 8-9 Panthers hosting the 12-5 Rams. Is a crazy, insane thing to think about. I think I remember some coaches coming out and saying, hey, if the record's better, we deserve the home game. But yeah. I kind of think that would...
I'm all in on the divisions.
You win the division, you get the home game. I think I'm with that, too. You don't win your
division, you don't get a home game. I don't care what your record is.
And now the Rams have to go all the way to Carolina, take that 5-hour trip to play a football game.
Carolina kind of like smalls their way into the playoffs. Like Rodrigo just kind of Rodriguez, Benny the Jet, just sent him out to center field, and they just held up their glove like this. And
You're
then
insane.
all of a sudden,
Come on, Smalls.
We're in the playoffs. Holy shit.
Okay, we're doing this. All right. That's hilarious.
Steelers pulled it off against the Ravens. Another fucking just...
Dude, Lamar came out hot, dude.
It was an awesome end of the game.
Lamar versus Rodgers was a hell of a fucking battle.
Lamar and Rodgers, especially in the fourth quarter, were freaking on fire. Like, every time you thought one of them outdid the other one answered. And it came down to the wire. Lamar got them in position. But yeah, you missed the kick. I mean, it's unfortunate, right?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. And actually, Mike Tomlin had another Mike Tomlin quote about how unfortunate it is, and just how, sometimes the ball just doesn't go your way,
Yeah.
He says, in quote, you know how it is, missing a field goal. If my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle.
In a podcast studio that looked ordinary on the surface but felt electric in every heartbeat, Travis Kelce leaned back in his chair, casually sipping water, when he dropped what would become one of the sweetest moments in celebrity and sports history. Taylor Swift sat beside him, her signature calm poise and sparkling eyes betraying just a hint of anticipation, as Travis, with his trademark relaxed grin, confirmed the news that had fans across the globe holding their breath. The Eras Tour had officially been nominated for a Golden Globe. There were no red carpets, no flashing cameras, no perfectly curated press statements. Just the two of them, laughter in the air, and an intimacy that made millions feel like they were in the room with them. As he spoke, Travis's voice carried both pride and awe, almost like he was sharing a secret he had been keeping just for himself until that very moment. "We're really proud," he said, his words simple, unpolished, but filled with an emotion so palpable that listeners could almost see the weight of admiration in his eyes. It wasn't just about the nomination. It was about the story behind the tour, the late nights, the endless rehearsals, the moments of doubt, and the triumph of an artist who had poured her soul into every performance. Taylor's smile, a mixture of shyness and warmth, mirrored the humility and authenticity that had made her a global icon, and as she chuckled softly, fans everywhere melted a little. Travis didn't need to embellish, didn't need to steal the spotlight. He spoke of Taylor as someone he had watched tirelessly chase her dreams, someone whose brilliance and resilience had inspired not just him but millions around the world. "I've seen sleepless nights, hours of rehearsals, moments of exhaustion," he admitted, his tone reverent, almost protective, as if sharing a private admiration with a close friend rather than a global audience. Each word resonated, each pause lingered, and the chemistry between them, love, respect, and mutual admiration made the announcement feel like more than news. It became a celebration, a reminder that behind the glittering awards and global fame, there is humanity, devotion, and heart. By the time the episode ended, fans were in a frenzy, flooding social media with reactions, clips, and memes, celebrating the rare glimpse of authenticity from two of the most watched figures in their respective worlds. The story of the Golden Globe nomination for the Eras Tour wasn't just about accolades. It was about love quietly witnessed, admiration freely given, and a moment that blurred the lines between music, sports, and raw human emotion. As Taylor and Travis waved goodbye to the microphones, their laughter echoing through the studio, fans couldn't help but wonder what other intimate surprises awaited them, leaving the world both thrilled and emotionally invested in a story that felt as personal as it was monumental.